I have been going to EMS Cameroon, and this year I went to EMS South Africa to teach NLP course. And recently I met Muhammad. He is from Kano. And what inspired this, session was that it turns out that there are many, people from, other part of Africa, especially also from Nigeria, for example, for the AIMS, about 10, and only one, like Muhammad, he is from the north. And we felt like, oh, this is opportunity. Maybe the people from the northern part of Nigeria are not actually aware of this kind of opportunity, and we felt it's something that we can have a session just to advertise people that are interested to apply for the AIMS because it's fully funded scholarship, with a lot of benefits. And I think I cannot recommend any program more than the AIMS because AIMS you can learn a lot. It's a really, really good program. And all the, especially in South Africa, they automatically, in a way, got like scholarship for PhD and then continue. So, Muhammad will give us a guide. Will talk to us like how we, from the beginning up to the application, share his experience regarding the process. So I will hand over to Muhammad to share, to share his screen, and also, oh, he's already sharing his screen, but to talk to us, walk through some of the things you want to share with us today. Yeah, so Muhammad, thank you for joining, and the you can take over.
Okay, thank you so much. And thank you for inviting me. As you can see, there's a picture of us, and there's a professor, Professor Ulrich. He's like the director of AIMS. So, okay. Um, this is an independent mentorship organized by Area Data Science, and I am Mohammed Abdullahi Said, Google DeepMind scholar, and at AIMS, South Africa. So we'll start from introduction. I am from Kano State. That's why you have the Kano logo in the middle. I studied computer engineering at University Kano. I did an MSc in big data technologies from East London, and now I'm at AIMS studying mathematics, specializing in AI for science. Also, I'm a technical research assistant, AI safety in Nigeria. It's a new organization for AI safety. And my research interest is safety alignment, explainable AI, LLMs, and NLP. So this is briefly, so about the program. AIMS. So AIMS is it's a community. Let's see, the definition here is a Pan-African network of center of excellence. So it's a community that brings smart people from all over Africa into a building, not necessarily one, but into like a building that we study, we learn from each other, and we live in that same small environment, even though some people are living close by. And it has a lot of locations. It has like 5 locations across Africa. The South Africa is the one I'm in now, but there's Rwanda, there's Senegal, there's Cameroon, and also we have Ghana. So that's AIMS. Google DeepMind. Google is a company, as we all know. DeepMind is a research lab at Google. And I think, I'm not wrong if I see that there is no any, in the context of AI, I don't know if there is any scholarship that is better, is more prestigious than DeepMind because of a lot of things. I can give you, first, it's fully funded. It's fully funded. And I think one of the most important part of the scholarship is the mentorship. So as a scholar, for example, you have access to one mentor who is a current researcher at Google DeepMind. So he will be one helping you to like the courses, even the courses you want to take, where you're going from AIMS, like after you're done with AIMS, your career, what you want to do next. So because he have like industry experience, like he's in a very good position to help you navigate through to achieve your goals. And so the environment, it's not really like don't AIMS is not like a university. It's not. The way we study is block by block. So a block is a 3-week program. So when I say one block is 3 weeks and you're gonna learn 2 topics, 2 courses in those 3 weeks, and you're starting from zero, and I can assure you that you can, even you're not an expert, you will go far in the 3 weeks you're doing the course. So that's that. So the scholarship is given to 40 students in the whole of Africa. And I think this scholarship started 2023, and a part of the agreement was to train 160 Africans, students who can champion the AI, who can be leaders in AI in Africa. So 2023, we did, they had the first 40, 2024, the next 40. We are the third year, we're in the third year of the 40, and I think this is the last year of the scholarship, although I think I heard that there's more funding now, like they've renewed it, but this application is the last 40 of the first 160. So, and also another thing about the scholarship is you have access to conferences, either at AIMS or outside AIMS. For example, I can give you, like, if you happen to write a paper and it's been accepted in any conference in the world, DeepMind will fund you to go and present the paper, like totally free. And okay, so let's go to why the program. Why mathematics? You know, mathematics is the foundation of AI, actually. So everything is built on maths. Any aspect of AI is built on maths. So that's why the program is the Master of Science in Mathematical Science, but specializing in AI for science, because AI for science, we mean AI in medicine, in healthcare, and climate change. You understand? Those part of it. So more of it will come in the next slide. So I think we should start with the main reason why here, the application process. The application goes through the AIMS website because actually you're applying to AIMS. But you need to know that AIMS on its own cannot give you a degree because it's a center, it's a research center. So every student is affiliated to one of the universities in South Africa. It's either University of Cape Town, Stellenbosch University, of the University of Western Cape. And you know that in the whole of Africa, these are the best universities. UCT is the first, Stellenbosch and Western Cape. So you'll be studying at AIMS, but your degree is coming from either of the universities I listed. So the requirement of this program is you need to be a citizen of Africa and a resident. You have to be in Africa to apply for this. That's one of the basic requirements. Then we'll go to CV. I think I want to show you something about this, because one of the problems we usually have, sometimes we get the opportunity to look at people's CV here, and there are some mistakes, like people actually make with CV because you want your CV to look fancy. You end up being disqualified just because of a mistake with your CV. Let me show you something about. So for example, it's very unprofessional to see a picture of yours on a CV. It's like, even if I'm the one looking into, I would have to disqualify you. If you have a picture of yourself on your CV, that's really, really very wrong. And when you're structuring your CV, for example, you are applying to an academic program. So your studies, your education, your publication, if you have one, your if you have any award, something that will show that, oh, you're ready for this program, needs to come first before your work experience. And even if you have relevant work experience, I still think it should come really later, after you've given in your interest, like your education. If you have some projects that you've done that are relevant to what you're applying, it should be there, and some skills also. So this is an example of my CV. As you can see, I start from the research interests, I go into the education, some selected projects that you can put in. And you can see Dr. Shamsuddin. Dr. Shamsuddin is my mentor, and he taught us some of the courses here. So there's, I think there are some few places that his name is on. Then also, if you have like a publication, you put it there, then your work experience will come. So that's what I want to show you here. So that's how a typical CV should be. And it shouldn't be like 3, 4 pages, because as a master's student or somebody applying to a master's, I can't really think of you having 3 pages of a CV. I don't know what is actually there. Even if you have a lot of publications, that's why it's written selected publications. Put the most relevant ones there, for example. But all of your education, I think you should start from your university. If you don't have a master's, you can do like a secondary school, then your university comes in. And your university, your latest education should be first, then subsequent ones will come. So the CV, it's important, but it's not like the most important thing. Unless if you have like a picture of you or you have like colors on your CV that shows that, oh, you are more of a design person than a scientist, or you want to be one. So that's for the CV. And I'll come to the motivation letter later. Academic transcript. You need to have a 4-year degree. This condition that they have for a 4-year degree is not AIMS. This is a South Africa, like a rule. You have to have like a 4-year bachelor's degree. You must have finished it before you start your master's here. So that's why you see the 4-year on the application. So it just means that, and normally in Nigeria, most of our degrees are 4 years, so we don't have actually that problem. Academic transcript. You don't have to be a first class student to apply to AIMS. I'm a second class upper student, and I'm here already. But your result is, it's good to have a very good result than a bad one, definitely, because at the end of the day, it's competition. You're competing against a lot of people. So yes, but there's no any like a hard-coded requirement on your transcript. So let's go back to the motivation letter. To me, I feel like that's the most important part of it. And why I'm saying that is when you're doing a motivation letter, you start with introduction, for example. Introduction is you explaining okay, this is who I am, and this is why I'm applying to AIMS. You have to tell them why you are applying to AIMS. Why do you want to come to AIMS? And it has to be very personal. If you given generic, AIMS is a very good school. Everybody knows AIMS is a good school. It's a good institute. So you have to tailor it in the sense that it's very personal to you. And part of your, when you do an introduction, you go to motivation of why you want to apply to the program. And this program is, the whole aim of the program at a very high level is to support students so that they can solve problems in Africa. So if your motivation of applying is not solving any problem, you will be disqualified automatically. This is something that you need to know. So you must show them that you're solving a particular problem, or you want to solve a particular problem. Let's say you've seen like there's a gap in healthcare, or maybe there's a gap in a climate, something that has to do with science. For example, when I was doing my own motivation, I tailored it to like, I wanted to have this wearable sensor devices so that people can have access to health. For example, if you have a device for this smartwatch, if you have a smartwatch and you can see you can see your heartbeat, you can see your temperature and all these things. If everybody in a community, for example, have this kind of smartwatch, if you have a heart attack, the smartwatch can send like a ping to a nearby hospital. You understand? That was what I used, even because I was working for like I was volunteering for a foundation. So we had that issue of like, people in the community don't have access to internet. They don't have access to this. So we're like finding ways to like help them. But you see, it's not that I'm giving them any solution. It's something that I want to do. So I want to solve a problem. So you have to show that you are solving a particular problem. That's why you want to come to AIMS, because that shows that, oh, if they if you come here and you get all the connection, you get all the skills, you're not going back to your country or to your state and just enjoy like what you've learned. You have to like give back to the society. So that is one of the most important part. You have to show that you want to solve a problem. Then also another important thing is after aims. You have to show them what do you want to do, your future directions. And don't give them something like, oh, I want to start a PhD, I want to start a company. Yeah, these are good things, but that doesn't mean you're solving the problem you stated earlier. So you start from introduction. This is who I am. This is why I'm applying to AIMS. Say something about DeepMind scholarship. Oh, it's one of the best scholarship in the world because it is. Then why? Your motivation of applying. Then future like directions. This is why. This is the aim of, oh, if I have the skills, this is what I want to be able to build. No, I want to start a foundation. No, I want to start a company. No, I want to show them that you want to use, you're ready to use the skills you've gotten from AIMS to help your country and the continent at large. So that is the motivation. And you do not want to put so many information because it's 500 words. If you stick to like introduction, motivation, future directions, I think 500 words it's enough. It's enough because nobody has time to like go to be reading pages of your to be reading pages of your of your motivation letter. There's a lot of applicants, and so that's why it's 500. They trust me. Let me tell you something. They won't read everything. They just glance at it, look at the paragraphs you have. Okay, this is what you're doing. This is what you said. This is what you said. They check your motivation. They check your future directions because there's a lot of people to like go through. And for the motivation letter, you can see that on my slide, there's the use of large language models. I'm sure that Dr. Shamsuddin must have like in all your mentorship sessions that he has like taught people have to actually use LLMs. And from the application, I read it that they said don't use LLMs. But I can tell you that you can use LLMs to do research questions, research a problem. But what we do not want is to prompt, for example, Gemini or GPT and just copy and paste. All these LLMs, they have this, how can I put it? They have this vocabulary that they use because they are just generating sequence after sequence. Basically, that's what they are doing. So they're just picking from their vocabulary. There's a type of tone that I will write with. You know that, oh, this person is, for example, not using LLM because maybe there's some, I'm not saying you should make mistakes, but don't try it like a machine. So if you copy and paste LLMs, even I am a student here. If I read something that is from a large language model, I will know. But the people going through these applications are professors, are lecturers, they are AI experts. They will spot it on. That does not mean you shouldn't use it to research. And I think also Dr. Shamsuddin also told us when we were having his course that it is allowed in when you're doing scientific research to use LLMs to like correct your grammar, structure, but you do not use it to get how can I put it, to get ideas to do something. Yeah, ideas can be like, okay, research ideas, but you don't want it to be thinking for you. So you have to be like very careful when you're doing this motivation letter because if you use LLMs heavily, I can tell you for free, they will disqualify you. Like they will disqualify you. There's no way that you reach the interview stage because they can see it. I can see it. They are far, far much better fish. They are so good that they will spot it on when you use it too much. So I think that's for the motivation. And as we go, if you have any questions about all this, you can put it in the chat, or when we're done, I'll go through it. Then we go to representative examples. You see, I think this year, the requirement is kind of a little bit hard, unlike last year. And I'll give you a story of how our own work, how we went through the application. But this representative work is expected. For example, if you're done with your undergraduate, you must have done like some project that you can show, like a final year project that you can like show them. If you're in computer science, computer engineering, software engineering, you don't actually have a problem because you must have used some programming language. Maybe you've done C, you've done maybe Java, or you have a Python that you have a notebook. Some people even have a GitHub. So if you have this kind of things, it's okay, you can just showcase it. And part of the, so you have to like, oh, I did this project, and this is the outcome of the project. This is why I need to like showcase the project. In the application, it shows that, oh, it's optional. Trust me, if you don't submit a representative work, you will not go to the interview stage. This is like, I'm very honest with you guys. You will not go to the next stage. But the tricky part is that somebody might have a very strong project or like a publication. For people that are coming from maths, maybe if you've solved a tricky theorem like this, you can like put it there. And I don't mean it says that you can put an assignment or assignment that you're proud of. Yes, you can put that. Maybe start with the most important one. Okay, maybe your final year project and you did something really cool. You put it there. Then you go to another, maybe you have done some individual or like anything, like you've done something that is not like from your school or anything, any project that you can put there, because you have the first representative work that shows, okay, this is who you are, this is this type of skills you have. Then you like bring in your assignments and everything. And if I'm to give you advice, I will be like, at least put 2 representative work. Even if you cannot put the whole 3, put 2. And a person that can give you a very good representative project, for example, you have a very strong project, one strong project is still better than 3 assignments also. So you just have to like weigh it, but it's optional, but you have to do it. Because I know a friend of mine that applied last year. He's with me now, but he applied 2 years ago, and he didn't attempt any of the optional questions or the projects. They sent him an email telling him that, oh, sorry, because of the competition, a lot of people have applied and you've not attempted this question. That's why. So you see, even if you are the best graduating student, you will still not go through. You will not reach the interview stage. So it's optional, but it's really, really recommended you do that. And today is today is I think 15th February. And this application is 6th March, the deadline. I would like advise you guys to like apply on time. Even if you like, fill everything that you need to fill. The project should be the last thing if you don't have it. From now, 15 days, you can make a project. It's not that hard. For example, if you're from computer science, software engineering, you can just pull anybody's GitHub and like go through it. You don't have to change anything. You can just even redo. You can just redo the project, for example, and like you just give your own insight. Oh, this is, you acknowledge the person is part of, like, you acknowledge, oh, this is project, this is what I have done, this is the experience I got from the project. So, but I can't say if you're coming from physics or other background because I'm not from there, but I can tell you that you'll be able to like come up with a project that you can actually submit. There's still time. If you really want to like do it, I can in 5-10 days, you can make a very good project. Not like nobody's expecting you to do something that has never been done, because that's the whole aim of you coming to AIMS, so that they can guide you, they can help you, they can give you all these skills so that you can. But they want to know that you can actually do something here. It's fully funded. I think the only expense you do for yourself is the visa. If you have your visa, they take over from there, your flight tickets. If you come here, trust me, you will enjoy AIMS because it's really good. The scholarship is fully funded, like literally fully. So for whoever wants to give you this kind of scholarship needs to know that, oh, you can actually endure because there's a lot of stress here. It's intensive. Even if I'll tell you it's intensive 100 times, you will not understand. But it's super intensive and there's a lot of expectations. So it's difficult. So I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of difficult. So they want to know that yes, if you're given this opportunity, you can actually use it. That's why they need the skills. It's not that they want you to bring something that nobody has done before, but show them that you can do something. You have a coding skills, you have a math background, and you should come from a math background because they will ask you questions in the interview stage about one or two math stuff, like math questions. So that's that. That's about the representative work. The coding problem, I can see the coding problem is like a tree search that they want to do. You can use a greedy search to solve the problem. If you don't know anything about it, research about it. You don't have to copy from GPT, but you can research, know the questions. And it says optional. Trust me, if you don't do that coding problem, you will be disqualified. So it's optional because, oh, they don't want to put it like it's a hard rule, but you will be disqualified. And it's not that they're disqualifying you because, oh, you didn't do it. They're disqualifying you because there's a lot of people that have done it. So definitely they will go for people that have done it. So by extension, you're disqualified. It's a coding problem, it's a Python problem. So if you're not good, you can just research it, try it. I'm not telling you to use LLMs because they say you shouldn't use it, but that does not mean you shouldn't do your research. You can do research and look at the problem and know how to solve it. Another thing is that if you opportune to reach the interview stage, they will ask you about this code you wrote. So that's why they don't want you to go to the LLMs because they will ask you. And at that time, nobody will have time to like. It's a video like interview, so you won't have access to the LLMs. They will ask you, oh, why did you use this function? Why didn't you try this? So you need to know how you can solve the problem and and understand the problem. It's if in fact they even made it so easy. When you look at the first graph, they give you like a second graph. The whole aim of the project is find the shortest path and go to every go to every point. So it's a greedy search problem. I don't know if you know that, but you can research that. Then there's the interview stage. The deadline is 6th March. We all know that. So maybe you should like put it on your calendar, maybe like 1st of March to see if you've done everything. Because if you miss the deadline, that's all. The interview stage. So this is where they will actually test you if you use LLMs or if you know what you're doing. They will ask you about your project. In our own time, we did not submit any project, but they still ask us, oh, tell us about your final year project. What's good about it? Why did you do it? So, but you people that you've submitted your project, they will definitely ask you about it. So know what you've submitted. And there's this mistakes that people make. You have a CV, you have a motivation letter, the way you solve the coding problems, the projects you uploaded. Please have a different folder, keep everything. Because when they call you for interview, they will ask you based on what you've submitted. If you can't even find the document or if you cannot remember what you put in your motivation letter, you'll be disqualified. If you cannot remember how you solve the coding problem, you'll be disqualified. If you add something to your CV that you cannot even remember if they ask you, you will be disqualified. So all of what you've actually uploaded, all what you typed in this application, find a folder, please put everything inside so that for references, if you reach the interview stage, it's going to be on that. So I think that's part of the application process in general. Then I think the next thing is I can just give you a short story about how I did my application, then life at Ames. Then if you have any questions, we go through it. So our own and I think in our own time, we don't submit project, but we have like 4 to 5 math questions. So in our own time, we solve math questions. So you don't have that problem. So we solve math questions, you upload your answers. There's a coding problem, you upload it also. So they'll ask you because they ask me, oh, how did you solve the math questions? It's differential equations. They are really tricky math questions. Trust me, you have to research them before you can answer them. And I think they asked us like 5 questions. I answered 4 and I left 1. So that's why I'm telling you that at least do 2 of your own projects and maybe leave the last one. If you have 3, put all the 3. When I saw this scholarship, I did a lot of like certifications in AI, data science. So I really like AI. So when I saw this scholarship, I just applied because of the AI. When I applied to this scholarship, trust me, I have never heard of Ames. I know what is Google, but I don't even know what is DeepMind. And even when I applied, I did not like do any research on it. I started researching what is Google DeepMind, what is Ames when they called me for interview. I was like, oh, what is Ames? I've never heard of Ames or UCT or all these things. So I did my research, for example, before the interview. I was interviewed by a senior staff researcher at Google. That's the guy I showed you in the first image. His name is Professor Ulrich. He's an expert in a lot of things in AI. And the interview is 15 minutes. In the 15 minutes that you guys are having this discussion, he will know if you can do it or you cannot. 15 minutes. He will ask you very simple questions. No, like he's not there to like ask you something that you start thinking. These are easy questions, very easy questions. For example, they ask me what is eigenvalues? It's a very simple question. They can ask you a function in Python. It's just like random questions that they expect you to know. If you know those questions, then they'll start going to like, okay, tell me about your project and why. It's 15 minutes. And if you do well, you will know on the interview day, like, oh, we will give you this scholarship. Some people, like after 2-3 days, they got a reply, oh, that you've been selected for the scholarship. So that is how I got the scholarship. But at the end of the day, if you are meant to be here, the process will be like kind of easy for you, not because. And I've heard a lot of stories from my friends that my like colleagues here. Depending on who interview you, for example, if it's a TA interviewing you or a lecturer, they tend to ask you a lot of questions because they do not have that experience of like, oh, if I ask you this question, I know you can do it. And maybe they have, if you don't have that experience with interviewing a lot of people, you tend to like, I need to know if this person knows this. I need to know. So if it's very unfortunate you meet people like that, you can have a lot of questions. So, but if you do your homework well, I don't think there's a problem with that. Also, in general, a lot of people apply to this project. You can find 2,000 people, 3,000 people. I'm not saying this to discourage you, but if you do it right, you will be able to scale through. And if you've been called for interview, yeah, you've done a lot. It shows that there's something interesting about your application and that they want to hear from you. They want to hear more from you. So I think that is my own application journey. And people will give you different like perspective. Mine was kind of not difficult, but other people's own is different. So, but it's not hard. It's just that they want to know that you can do it. And if you prepare well, I think do your part well. Make sure that you've done what you could. Do it to the best of your ability. Then you leave the rest to God. So life at Ames, trust me, you're gonna enjoy this because Ames it's a very fun place to be. It's a very fun place to be, and this is what we missed in Nigeria. That people are afraid to speak to their professors. Your professor is not smiling. Your professor wants you to fail. No, here you do have lunch with your professors. Like you can sit with your professor and like just you tell him what you want to do. He gives you a lot of advice. You get a lot of connections. The best thing you can get from Ames is connections. Is connections. For example, Dr. Shamsuddin is from Imperial. If you need something from Imperial, you know you have somebody that can help you there. There's a lot of like professors that come from MIT, Oxford. Like like these are people that they are an expert in their own field. Somebody will tell you last block, I can give you this example. Last block, there's a professor called Mike Giles. He's a professor from Oxford. I think he was the head of department in Oxford for 10 years. So he came, he was like, I think the course he took is CUDA programming, this GPU programming. If he's giving you like stories that you tell you that, Rolls-Royce is running my code. This financial bank is using my model to. So these are experts that will teach you, and they don't give you redundant knowledge. Unlike, I'll come and give you I'll give you like 100 pages of something that you don't actually need. Or maybe so they'll give you what you need, like spot on. When you want to learn this and this and this and this is what you need to know as foundation, then you can learn on your own. For example, Dr. Shamsuddin gave us, when we were doing NLP and LLMs, he gave us materials more than what we need. Because if I want to do something in classification or generation, I can still go back to his course because there's a lot of information that you can get from there. So they'll give you like the best knowledge that you need that you can excel. And connection that's the best thing. You know someone, for example, I know somebody from Norway like this, from Copenhagen, from Montreal, Mila, all these are labs, from Imperial, there's a from Imperial, from Pretoria. Your connection is almost everywhere. And if you call them, you will answer you if you need recommendation. So AIMS is about connection. You will have the connection. Then the name alone, Google DeepMind Scholarship, I'm telling you, ask everybody. There is no scholarship that is more prestigious in AI more than Google DeepMind. I can also give you an example. I was speaking to a professor at Hamad bin Khalifa University. I was telling him that, can I get, like, is there any advantage I'm getting if I'm a DeepMind scholar, if I'm applying for a PhD? He said, Mohammed, if you've met all the requirements, then that's when they will look at who you are. But if you are a DeepMind scholar and you've met all the requirements, definitely you have an edge. So just the name is enough for you. It opens a lot of doors. People don't want to talk to you, but if you tell them I'm a DeepMind scholar, see, we are so happy that we're a DeepMind scholar, but Dr. Shamsuddin is a good DeepMind research fellow. That's really cool if you're a research fellow. That's at the highest level because you get to interact with the directors of DeepMind. You get to go to the labs and everything. So DeepMind gives you this advantage over every other scholarship. Then when you look at AIMS, AIMS is the best institute center in Africa. You might be affiliated to UCT, which is the best university in Africa, or Stellenbosch, the second best university. So there's so many advantages to this program. And when you're looking at the scholarship, see, even laundry, we have people doing that for you. In fact, I can tell you that even if you're stressed, there's a therapist here just for students. If you're stressed, you can just go and speak to the therapist. It's just for the student. Even if you can't speak good English, we have like an English tutor just for the student. Like she's always in the building for you guys. That's why they employ her. anything you want at AIMS, you get it. There's stipend in AIMS. I'm telling you that the food they give us at AIMS, you can ask anybody. You don't even have to spend your money. The food is so good. They give you breakfast, they give you lunch, they give you dinner. And it's an environment. You speak to people from a lot of backgrounds. Finally, if you get the scholarship, if you think you are the best graduating student from wherever you come here, if you come here, you will see people that are far, far much better than you. Let me give you another example. There was a course I was doing called Monte Carlo simulation. It's mass. It was really difficult for me. So I met a Madagascar friend of mine. I was asking him, "Okay, please, can you help me? Can you please help me explain this concept of Monte Carlo, like so we were doing something like Langevin equation is optimization." The guy told me that, "Oh, Mohammed, I can refer you to one of my books to learn from there." I looked at him. I said, "What? I'm in the same class with people that have written books. He has a math book that he has published, and you are in the same class with him. So if you think you're good, if you come here, you will see people that are far, far much better. But that's the best part of it. You get to learn, you have support, you have a lot of things. So I hope I have give you a general overview of the application and life at AIMS. And I hope it's inspiring and it will help you towards your application. So if you have any questions, it's open. Thank you so much.
We do have Sani Abdullahi as well. He's also Google DeepMind. Sani, can you speak up and just tell one more word? So Sani, he is from, what is your university, Sani? Stellenbosch or what is it? Sani is from Kano also. We cannot hear you. Okay, so maybe Sani is not audible. So thank you, Muhammad.
Wow.
Uh, yes, uh, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, so as Muhammad explained to us, there are many M's. So M's South Africa, M's Cameroon, M's Ghana, M's Rwanda. Muhammad is from M South Africa, which is the one that is only supported in South Africa. We have M's AI for Science. That's where Google DeepMind support. But all the other ones, such as M's Cameroon, EMS Rwanda, EMS Senegal, there is no Google DeepMind support, right, Mohammed?
Yeah, I
We
think
cannot hear you,
only
Mohammed.
yeah, I think it's only South Africa that has DeepMind scholarship.
Yeah, yeah. Only South Africa they have Google DeepMind scholarship, but all other EMS they also have a very rigorous system. But I think the
Yes.
EMS South Africa that they have they have the Google DeepMind from AI for Science. But also, I think there is another scholarship. I don't know, Sani, which one is your scholarship? I know it's Google DeepMind, but it's not in EMS. Can you talk to us a bit about your own, Sani?
Okay, sir. So good evening, everyone. My name is Sani Abdullahi Sani. Dr. Prof, please could you say if you can hear me? I'm audible.
Yeah, so we can hear you. Tell us where you are, what's your background, and how you got to become Google DeepMind scholar. Thank you. We can hear you.
Okay, so really quickly, my name is Sani Abdullahi Sani, and I am from the University of the Witwatersrand, Johannesburg. I am also a DeepMind scholar, 2024-2025 session. I am currently wrapping up my research in the intersection of NLP and neuroscience in South Africa. And like Prof has already mentioned, I'm also a DeepMind scholar, but not in AIMS. So my DeepMind scholarship is, I would say, institution-based. And the idea is DeepMind would give an institution the funding, and then the institution would sort of advertise, and then student would apply, do an exams and an interview, and then eventually got into the university. So mine fall into the category of University of the Witwatersrand, which is also a university in South Africa, and under the rail lab precisely. So I graduated from Kano University of Science and Technology. My first degree is in computer science, and I graduated with a first class. I then had a couple of jobs midway, and then I sometime applied the scholarship. I think I first saw it on LinkedIn. So the Professor Benjamin Roseman, who is a professor in the university, I
So you
used to
didn't know
follow him.
anybody. You didn't know
No,
anybody. You just applied.
yeah, I just applied actually.
Right.
I have interest in AI since when I was in school. And so for that reason, I sort of tried to search a lot of professors who are working in AI globally. And part of the people that I had connections with on the LinkedIn was Professor Benjamin Roseman. And I used to follow him since that time. And sometime he just posted about the scholarship in the university. And I just opened the link, just get the requirements and see that I check some of the boxes, actually, not all though. So I just applied. I just give it a shot because I mean, I have nothing to lose by trying. I applied and then I got, so I do some tasks, which I think is really close to what Mohammed has said about the coding problem. So it's really just like, it's just a day-to-day problem, but then you use code and some Python codes to solve it. One thing that I would emphasize here is, and this is my personal experience, the most important thing here is you got to have an open mind because these guys don't really want you to solve the problem like 100%. They just want you to sort of demonstrate an understanding of the problem and then try to give a very optimal solution in a way. And so the idea is you don't have to know it all. And I heard Muhammad was explaining that, and that's very true. These guys are experts in the field, and so they really want you to just demonstrate sort of like your idea in a way. And then when I finished that, I submitted the application, and then so the rest is history. I got called and I was sent a congratulatory email. And I mean, trust me, this is a very prestigious scholarship and it has a lot you would like and need. So, I mean, like they sent the scholarship and all the official processes, all the paperworks, and then eventually I joined the university in 2024. Um, I worked in a couple of labs, but then I ended up in the NLP and neuroscience lab. But and trust me, the person behind this joining of my NLP is Prof. Shamsuddin, and I really want to say it. And I used to tell people a lot of times that he was part of the reason why I am currently in the field of NLP because of his support and, of course, encouragement all the time. Thank you, Prof. Jazakumullah khair. So,
Uh,
I mean, like I currently do my research in NLP, so to be a bit specific in African languages, and to really sort of hone it down a lot is about Hausa language, which is my native language. You see, part of why we study this AI and, of course, education in general is to really have an idea about how to solve your own problem. Because at the end of the day, your country is your country, your language is your language, and all. Now, part of why I want to work in Hausa language is to have the international and this global outlook in a way, and of course, to know how to sort of inculcate this habit of inclusion kind of thing, because mostly our languages are being categorized or characterized as a low resource languages. We have really low resources on the internet about how these languages are being spoken, a lot of things around that. Specifically, my research is around sort of understanding culturally grounding in Hausa language. To give you context really quickly, is some time ago, I tried to prompt LLM like ChatGPT and Cloud about how to ask for seeking for hand in marriage. So, for example, if I want to ask someone to like you see someone daughter and you want to ask language, and then trust me, LMs with it's no like the integration of the cultural aspects of it. And like in Hausa language, it would be more like manzone mai iri or something around that. So it's like really sort of cultural. The sensitivity of the culture wasn't there actually, and that sort of um, make me to think very deeper about that. And so it started from there actually. So ultimately, that is what I'm currently working on. And the idea is to really understand how to work on the cultural grounding of these languages and how to improve these LLMs in that aspect so that there is inclusion ultimately. Because we don't want to be using all these LLMs at the expense of our culture. At the end of the day, the culture is our identity. So I don't want to speak much.
Yeah, we'll
Lastly,
invite you.
yeah,
We'll invite you to tell us more story about your experience. Thanks, Sunny. It's really exciting to talk to you this evening. So just to tell you,
thank
like,
you very much, bro.
yeah, just to tell you, like, this is a really exciting and prestigious, fellowship. You will get a lot, get connection, and you need not to know anybody, right? All you need to have is to have the skills. So, because like nothing good comes easy, right? If you want to do something really dream big, you must to also work, hard and whatsoever. For example, for me, getting into Imperial and Google DeepMind, just my friend shared with me, hey, this is the position, and the position is supposed to join for 3 years, and I was like, I didn't even finish my PhD at that point, but they made mention that people that in the last year of their PhD they can apply and something like that. Okay, I said, okay, all right, and I sat down and put my applications and one key thing I will also, as Muhammad also keep emphasizing that was connection. You need to connect people, the right people with the right minded. For example, what Sandy also said, he has interest in AI and he started following people that are working on AI and he saw a link and post. Don't just go and be following, those people, Mwas Hausa, Ali Jitao and, ra, 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 you wasting your time, all those stuff. If you have a focus, do what you need. So for me, for example, I have some people that even prior to going to join Google Domain, I have like mentors from Google, such as Savasya Roda, which is really awesome researcher. And when I put my applications, because I already make connection with them, I just ask them, hey, Savasya, I'm putting this application, be my mentor and write me the recommendation later. And anybody in the world, if you are working on NLPAI, if you have a Savasya Ruda as your, referee and that tells this guy is good now, because they will definitely like, accept. So it's really good to have connection. Muhammad emphasized this and also that. And you don't need to know everything. If you are good enough, you will scale. And when I had my interview at Imperial, also Imperial is top school in the world. Currently in UK, it's ranked one or second in the world. Is topmost. Not going for topmost 5 or 6. It's really competitive as well. And when I had my interview, asking question, everything. For example, if you know the stuff the way they interview you, just tell them the answer. They know, yeah, this guy know the stuff. And it's very prestigious for me at Imperial. Anything I want in terms of money research, in terms of traveling, if I want to travel anywhere in the world, I would just tell my manager, hey, book a flight for me tomorrow. I'm traveling. You don't have any restriction in terms of the money, in terms of resources. You will have Google, for example. For me, I go to Google. You interact with researchers. You do stuff together. You get all this stuff. So we really encourage you to explore more, think big, and put everything to Allah that things will work out. So without much further ado, I will leave this last part to Muhammad for questions. So we have Munir that raised up his hand. Munir, can you ask the question?
Okay, sir. Hello, everyone. My name is Munir, and I'm joining from Kano State, Nigeria. So, my question is that you mentioned that we should tailor our motivation letter to a particular problem we want to solve. And my question is that do we need to have prior experience in that area? Take, for instance, if I want to solve a problem around neuroscience, do I need to come from a medical background? Because I, for instance, I'm coming from an engineering background. So that's my question.
Okay. I think I'm not, you don't have to have like a background. You just have to have like a problem. Like, okay, for neuroscience, assuming that maybe there's an intersection between neuroscience and AI, you just want to like show that, oh, there is this problem. Even if you just know the name of the problem, you just show them that, oh, this is what you are working towards. Because there's a course on neuroscience here at Ames or like every year. So you just have to like show them that, okay, there's a problem. I don't know the problems in neuroscience, but you can just tell them that, oh, there's a problem in neuroscience that you have. For example, you can connect it. For example, when I was writing my own, apart from I think I gave two problems. Even I gave the first one of the wearables, then I gave like, oh, because of lack of access to like healthcare, people get, you know, like if you have a disease and you don't have access to healthcare, your body gets to deteriorate. So that's why like you need to have this like urgent attention. You have to like, so it's just like a general problem. You don't have to have experience. Nobody expecting you to have this experience, but it just shows that you have the focus of where you're going to and why you are doing it. I think that.
All right. All right. Thank you very much. My second question is that are there specific research areas that AIMS focuses on, or we can just like state a problem around AI generally, or there are specific research areas that we can um, make suggestions on.
uh if so, for example, the program is AI for science. It's not like you have to have a problem in AI for science. You can even have a problem in engineering that you want to solve. It doesn't have to be. But I'm saying this because it's an AI for science program, so it's fine if your problem is AI for science. But it can be engineering. It can be compiler. You see, that's like hardware. So it's not specific, but you can be, because when you come to AIMS, there's a lot of people that are doing optimization. Some people are doing vision. Some people are doing, like I'm doing AI safety. Some people are doing NLP. So you can go everywhere. It's not that they have any restriction, but it just have to be a problem. Even so, I don't know which engineering you're doing, but there must be a problem. There's a lot of problems in engineering that you want to solve. And it's very easy to connect it to anything like healthcare, to like climate, or like anything that has to do with science. So I think you should just research about it. That's why you have the LLMs. Research about it. There's always an intersection that you can use. I hope
Thank you very much, sir.
that answers
Okay,
questions. Thank
Hussein,
you.
we have the last person, Husseini.
Assalamualaikum. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
My name is Hamilton. So, I have three young people. The first one is that I come from a geology background. So I studied geology at the Federal University of Technology. So I was going through the uh, Muhammad. So I noticed on his LinkedIn he studied at University of East London. So I was wondering if this was before he started his own program. So I wanted to know what my chances are as someone with a background in geology, because I want to be realistic about application. So I have a bit of coding knowledge, and I've done some work on data structures and algorithm and ML research actually. So I wanted to know what my chances are.
Just for clarity, is there any mass component in your degree?
A bit of it actually, my 100 level, but that was it.
Because to be very realistic, even if you have a mass background, it's super difficult to like to go through the courses here. So you can still apply, but really you need that component, because I think that's the only part that they check in your transcript. Do you have a component of maths? Because everything here, it's about maths. The foundation, it's maths. So they really need to know that you have that. So if there's a way you can like showcase that the one you did in level one, and you said you, I was looking at your profile. I think you have like you're the best graduation students. You can use that to show you level
Okay.
one. You don't have to say it. You don't have to like say it, but you can put it like, oh, everybody knows that for you to be a best graduating student, meaning you have this discipline to like study. So you can show them that, oh, I have a maths background in the level one, but you can even tell them that, oh, I'm working on having more maths background, like more maths like courses, taking more maths courses, because I don't know if there's a person in geology, but there's a lot of background here. Really, there's a lot of backgrounds here. There are people that come from economics. Yeah, I know someone that come from economics. So it's not like you're not going to, but you just have to like explain it that you can do it, even with what you have. And I think you being a best graduation student might help you.
All right, thank
Okay.
you, sir.
Oh, we have another
My
person.
second question,
Okay, go
can
on.
I go on?
Yes.
Yeah, my second question is how technical is the interview? I heard you mention something about code questions during the interview. So to ask how deep these questions could go. Do you solve a question real time, or how does it work?
No. It's not, you're not solving any question real time. That's why I was telling you guys to have a folder to keep like what you've submitted. They're gonna ask you based on what you've submitted. Like if you submitted, oh, you've done this code, they'll ask you, oh, how do you do it? So if really you've gone through the code, you've researched it, you've gone through it, you've submitted it, and before the interview, you like go through it again, I think they'll ask you a question that you can actually answer.
Okay, let's move
So
on
All
into
right.
Abubakar Awal Khalid. Abubakar.
All right, thank you, sir. Good evening, all. I'm Awal Abakar Khalid from BWK here. My question is, there was this application from South Africa that happened early this year, I think January. So I applied, and a response I got from them was the selection was very competitive, and there was limited number of scholarships. But it's not that I don't like merit. So if I want to be considered for the next intake that is September this year, I should just fill like a form. So the question here is, what is your advice with regards to this? Thank you.
I think you're referring to like a show of interest form. I really don't think that. What I was just telling you is that maybe they might send you an email. Oh, that you started application, because that's the whole aim of that you fill in the form.
Yeah, also
Like
for new
just
application, Muhammad, maybe because now you maybe learn more, maybe you can you can make your applications document much better. You don't need, for example, even though they said to you that you can reuse your document, but for me, if I were you, I can, put a fresh application when there is any fresh, because maybe I learn more other things that I can change in my application, something like that.
because I think if you use your previous application, you were not selected, you still not be selected, I think. So you so it just makes sense to like put
Yes,
something
exactly.
else.
Exactly. So let's,
Try another
yeah,
end.
let's move on to another administrator.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
Hello everyone, my name is Ibrahim Shou Muhammad.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a graduate of computer science from the UK, and I learned about this scholarship, I think, sometime last year. I tried applying, but I couldn't meet up with the date. And the question I have here is, I did, I think, 6 mathematics course in my undergraduate, and unfortunately, I had a D in probability and statistics. So I was thinking, is this D going to be much of a problem to my application, or?
Probability and statistics is like it's really important. But what I want you to understand when you're looking at your transcript is they are not grading you based on your transcript. They are not. It's just a requirement for South Africa that you must have one, and they just want to see that if you have a mass component. So I'm not going to say that, oh, it's going to disqualify you. As long as you know what you're doing and you've like structured your application well, it shouldn't be a problem. There are people that don't actually have a lot of background and they're here.
Okay, and regarding the project to be submitted, you mentioned 3. And unfortunately for my undergraduate, I don't really like the topic I was given. So how can I possibly put up 3 projects within this time frame?
Wow. Actually, that's almost close to impossible to make 3 different applications to 3 different projects. But you did computer science. Computer science, there's
Yes.
a lot of things you can do in computer science. What's your interest in computer science, if I may ask?
I think AI and something around maybe robotics.
Robotics. For you to do a project in
Yeah.
robotics, it will take quite some time, actually.
Okay.
I think you can just stick to AI. You can just find a very simple. See, let me give you a very simple project to try.
Okay.
Do you know a transformer?
An electric transformer?
Yeah, okay, so no, not electric transformer. Transformer. Oh, the whole of LLMs are built on transformers.
Okay.
Encoder, decoder. So if you can go research, there's a lot of materials out there that have showed like how you can build a transformer from zero.
Okay.
You can do just encoder part of the transformer. You don't have to do everything. You can just pick an encoder part of a transformer, and okay, you've built it in Python. You can just use maybe a simple text. Dr. Shamsuddin might tell you more of this. You can just build a simple text. Oh, this is the input. This is what you get at output. You see, you're not doing something new, but it's something that you can actually put forward. What you're going to do is that, when you are doing your motivation of why you chose it, it shows that, oh yeah, you're really interested in AI. You really wanted to see how the transformer works. And this is what the insight you got from it. It's a very simple project. Trust me, if you want to do a transformer from scratch, I can tell you that if you're really keen on doing this, in the next 2-3 days, you can pull it off. And you don't need to, you can use Google Colab to do it. You don't have to pay anything. Just do your research, find it. You don't have to do a transformer. There are other architecture, there are other simple models. Or you go to Hugging Face. Hugging Face is a website. You go to Hugging Face, you find a very small model. You just train it for this is a polarization project Dr. Shamsuddin taught us. You can just train it for, let's say, semantic classification, or maybe any small classification, true or false. You can just, is this sentence showing anger or
hate speech?
You understand? These are simple. When you're coming from computer science, software engineering, the projects are just too many. You can choose and you can make it. So you just do a little research about the project. If you have more questions, we can link on. You can talk to me on LinkedIn, and we'll see where we can go from there.
Well, thank you very much. I really
All right,
appreciate
so I think we're gonna have the last 2 questions. Abbas, from Abbas, then we have Musbah Bashir, and then we close with it. Abbas, go on.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good evening, everyone. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Can you hear me?
Yes, go on. We can hear
you.
Once again, I'm Abbas Abdullahi, a graduate of mathematics from Ahmadu Bello University Zaria. My question goes like this. I'm a graduate of mathematics, but with little or no experience in programming, Python programming, though I participated in the some publications. I have like 2 or 3 publications in mathematics, actually, not anything related to programming. But I really have interest in data science. So this lack of experience in programming, I don't know if it may affect me in my applications. Please, that's what I want to know.
Okay, so I think you are in a far much better position than everyone, because the whole institute is for maths. And apart from the AI for science stream, at AIMS there's a structured master's program, and it's also, I think the deadline is in the next maybe 2-3 weeks. So it's still at AIMS, but it's not a Google DeepMind. It's from MasterCard. So first advice I'm going to tell you is that apply to both. Because the structured masters, most of it, they go into data science straight. But if you want to be a DeepMind scholar, then you have to apply to the AI for science. So use your publications as your representation of work in maths. Because trust me, if you happen to have Professor Ulrich as your interviewer, you really enjoy it, because he loves seeing people from maths. Then, coming to the coding questions. When you do your research, the Python code is not going to be hard. It's something that you can actually do. It's not going to be very difficult. Just do your research and try to solve it. You don't have to be go to the end, but show that you can do it. And it shows that if you don't have a coding background and you come to AIMS, trust me, you work twice as hard, because you have to learn the coding here. You have to learn it fast.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be a problem. But just know that when you pass, when you are here, you have double work to do.
All right, thank you very much. Though I actually joined an internship towards November, and the internship lasts for 2 months. I was not able to get the certificate because of I needed to pay some money. Not the money. The money is not the problem. But they requested that I send it through an app, and it was really challenging for me to do the payments. So I had to, at the end, give up with the certificate. So I had a data science internship that I use Python to do, even though I actually use the help of the LLMs to be able to do that. Though anything I receive from them, I go through it, check for other possibilities, what I need to do and what I need to learn. That was it, actually.
Okay, thank you. Let's move on to the next person. Muhammad, did you want to respond? I don't know if you are finished.
Yeah, I just wanted to say something that you don't need a certification. Nobody's going to ask you to present any certificate, and you don't have to tell them, I did a 2-month internship. Have you done anything in Python? Yes. You have something. I have done this project in Python. For example, in your motivation, I have done this internship in Python. This is what I've learned. Nobody's going to give you a certificate. Nobody cares about the certificate. Just show them that you've done it. So as long as you've tried Python, you can do the coding problem. So you don't be saying that, you don't have experience. And sometimes with Python, you learn what you need as you go in. So I think you don't have a problem.
All right, thank you very much.
We have Amina Aminu. We have a female. We don't have, let's call her Amina Aminu.
Yes, assalamu alaikum.
Yes.
Yes, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Okay, my name is Amina, graduated from ABU Zaria. So I have 2 questions actually. So regarding the project we need to upload, like how basic can it be? Like, do I need to upload the most complex project I did? Or maybe I can just upload the simple ones with very strong motivation. Like, I don't know if the motivation behind the project is also valid. Like, yeah. So that's the first question.
If you're applying to something as competitive as AIMS, you put your best project out with the motivation of doing it. Then you can add the rest.
Okay. Thank you. So my second question is regarding maybe resumption. So can it be deferred? Maybe due to some like valid reasons or health reasons, or
So
let's
let
say
me tell you,
maternity. Yeah.
okay, AIMS is one of the most flexible institution you can be in. To the extent that even if you come to AIMS today and you have something very important that you want to do in your country, you will go back. If the reason is good for them, you will go back and come back for the next intake. I know somebody that started his PhD and wanted to come to AIMS. So he came to AIMS, but when he came to AIMS, his PhD, the university was telling him that no, he's going to lose his slot. He's going to do. He explained it to the director, and the director said, "You have two options. It's either you go there and tell them, you go there and spend a year, then you defer the rest, come to AIMS and continue, finish AIMS, or you leave that PhD, and when you're done with AIMS, we'll give you a PhD." See, AIMS is the best place. You know, they'll pay for your flight to go for wherever you want to go, if the reason is good for them, and they pay for your flight to come back and continue. So this is like, you don't have problem with that. It's very
Thank
flexible.
you so much. Yeah,
So the last
that
one we have Ms. Bahu Bashir.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Misbah Bashir, graduated student from Western University. I have done my BSc in computer science. So, last application of EMS, I was selected to the interview. So, what affected my success in that interview was regarding that questions and project they asked. Last year they asked about programming and some math question, and they say they are optional. So since I see it as optional, then I leave it. So the issue is that when I come to interview, they ask me, I have already solved that. So what can I say about what I have solved? Then I tell her that. I didn't solve it because they said optional. They asked me some question about some algorithms and Python and programming. So what I need to know is that how can I strengthen my interview so that I will succeed. I will get success in that interview. Thank you.
No, the first thing is that I'm going to say that you were very lucky to not solve the questions and come to an interview. Like, that's like God. You're very lucky to do that, because a lot of people like have been disqualified because they've not attempted the questions. So this time around, just do as much as you can to solve that coding problem. And solving the coding problem, they will have to ask you, because you came to the interview without solving the questions. They've already invited you for the interview. Definitely they have to ask you normal questions, and that they might not ask you questions but when you have done, you've like solved the questions, definitely they're asking you from the questions. So this time around, make sure you do all optionals, because they are optional, but you're competing against a lot of people. So it's just like wake up call. Do it well now, prepare for it before the interview, because you are very lucky to be there.
Thank you.
And Doctor, I have this final
I think
conclusion.
This is the last question. We already we took all the questions, so you can take one last word and we can close.
So guys, please, you really need to apply to this program. I think in the past 3 years, and I'm giving you this, it's just Arewa, we are not represented. When I saw Dr. Shamsuddin at AIMS, I was extremely happy, because that was the first time I would get to speak to somebody that is coming from my country, from my region, for example. So we are not represented out there, and it's because maybe the number of people applying are not that many. I can tell you now, in this cohort, we have 10 people from Nigeria and I'm the only one from North, from the whole North, not Kano State, the whole North. And also, I can tell you that in the whole 3 years that this program has been going on, I'm still the only person from the North. And I have searched the LinkedIn. I know that there's no way there's somebody that will get a DeepMind scholarship and wouldn't have a LinkedIn account. It will be extremely difficult. Do you know that based on my research, there is only 3 people in the whole of North that have a somehow a DeepMind something? From Dr. Shamsuddin that is a fellow, then San Abdullahi and I. So please, I will really, the whole of this session is to encourage you guys to please apply. Just try your best and apply so that at least even if you get 2 people from the North or 3 people, you will enjoy it here because you have somebody to, everybody's speaking to his language. There's nobody I speak Hausa with. So please guys, put the effort. We really want to see us like getting this kind of things. So that's my conclusion. And may Allah help us.
Assalamu alaikum. Sorry, sir. Please, I have one last question. It's still regarding the project. So I have one paper I've written. So do I need to like add the paper and also the code, or just the paper?
So this is for anybody submitting any code. For anybody submitting any code, apart from the coding problem, if you have a project that has anything with code, please use GitHub and make sure your GitHub is public, because there's nobody that will call you that, oh, your GitHub is private. So submit your paper, and in your paper, you should have a GitHub link to the project. So you don't have to submit to. Your paper will have a GitHub link, then they can go there direct to see what you've done. If you cannot put, if your paper is, there's no way you can put, like add a link, when you are doing your motivation of why you chose that, please add that link there and make sure it's public, please.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, so lastly, Muhammad has been telling us a good story, but he hasn't telling you one bad story. When I met Muhammad, he said the food they gave them there, they are even tired with it because, like, there is no food like Nigerian food or kind of food because you'll be fed there. You have a very good food. They will give you the morning, the afternoon, and everything. But Muhammad, is it good food like kind of food or?
Doctor, do you know that there was a woman that invited us like a month ago? She gave us like I think is Samovita. If you see how everybody was like extremely happy because there's nothing. See, do you know that even Yaji that you're seeing here, trust me, you should come with your own because you cannot find it here.
Yeah.
And you cannot find Nigerian food.
Yeah, so the food is good, but you just miss Nigerian food. So just to wrap it up, Google DeepMind is a great fellowship. For me, it's one of the best things that I'm enjoying, and I do hope many of you, for example, Sani, Muhammad, that they are here doing the master. Hopefully, they will get more scholarship. Even for after PhD to get a fellowship, DeepMind fellowship, because it's really something. If you talk about monetary, apart from all the privilege you have, you may be going monthly, you may be going with over 10 million naira in your pocket. So you can see this is something huge, right? So if you are going with over 10 million naira in your pocket as a salary monthly, this is something really good. So just to tell you that how kind of things that you can get from that, not only talk about the research, about whatever. So thank you everyone for joining. We'll share the recordings for you to follow up. You can link with Muhammad or Sani on LinkedIn. You can shoot them an email. Thank you very much for joining. And also don't forget, we host Ariwa Data Science where we teach machine learning, NLP, and the rest. The link has been shared. Please do join us for the program. So thank you, Muhammad, for giving this talk. We really enjoyed it, and thank you very much for sharing your experience, you and Sani. Thank you, and ciao, ciao, bye.
Thank you so much.